Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Roberto Bruno here, pastor of the Central Apostolic Church, coming to you from super foggy San Francisco. Hopefully, wherever you are, where you live, where you work, where you dwell, that you are finding peace and grace and the mercy of God, because He's amazing and He's constantly working in our lives, and He is doing marvelous things, right, for all of us. And hopefully you have been feeling a recipient, receiving from all His goodness this past week. You know, as we live our lives and hear so many different things that are going on, and you know, we have so many sensory things going on, right? You know, watching our phones and just work and all of these things around. And I just want to encourage you that, you know, just make it a habit to hear from God. Make it a habit to see His hands or to see His face on a daily basis. And it's not as hard as a lot of people think, that, oh, I need to be a monk up on a monastery somewhere spending, 12 hours in prayer, even though that might be legit, as a retreat idea. However, it's really not that way. It's just the constant relationship with God. It's just a constant speaking out to Him. And knowing His voice, and knowing His movements, and just knowing the trail or the path that He leads for us. In Psalm 85 and verse 8, it's just a real simple verse, and it says this: I will listen to what God the Lord will say. What a great statement, right? So clearly, the psalmist, and this is not David, this is the sons of Korah who wrote this. This is, I will listen. I will listen to what the Lord is saying, right? We know we could hear, our spouse or our parents or our boss or our pastor say things. It's like, I don't need to listen to that. I don't need to listen to that, and maybe it's negative and you don't want to listen to it. So it's not a matter of an absence of a voice or absence of someone pouring into us. And in this case, it's not an absence of God's voice saying something to us, speaking to us, to directing us. It's about ourselves. Here, the psalmist is saying, I will listen to God. The Lord will say. I will listen to what God, the Lord, will say. I'm going to listen to it. So I just want to encourage you. I could say emphatically, God is speaking to you. He is. But are you listening? Are you listening? Has He had the response to your prayers, but it wasn't what you wanted, so you chose not to listen to Him? Yeah? Has He already shown you what door to walk through, but maybe you feel like, no, that's not the one I want this one? But are you listening? That person you're chatting with online, and God's been showing you the red flags, are you listening? Are you listening? Because the psalmist goes on and says, but let them not return to their folly. Yeah? Because here clearly the psalmist understands that the Lord is speaking and He's going to listen. Because if He doesn't listen, well, then he's going to return back to his folly. You know what folly is? It's foolishness. It's foolishness. Now, the psalmist isn't calling us fools. Now, if you read the rest of the psalm, he says a lot of good stuff about salvation, and the only salvation comes from the Lord, and so on and so forth, and all kinds of goodness. But just in this statement is listen, so what's the opposite? If I don't listen to God, then I will do foolishness. Yeah? I will possibly make a wrong decision. I'll purposely continue in my sinful life or my bad decisions. You know? And listen, I'm not standing here like I'm Mr. Wonderful. You know? I have my low spots. I have my sore spots. I have my dark spots that I'm still working on, that I choose to do foolishness. I choose. I'm just being transparent with you. I'm being transparent. You know? And it's a choice. And that's the beauty of God. It's always a choice. I will listen to what God, the Lord, will say. Will say. My beloved, I just want you to be encouraged. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. But also, I challenge you. I double dog dare you. No, I'm just kidding. I challenge you. Listen to what God will say. Listen to what the Lord, for some of us, has been saying. Has been saying. And maybe in some cases, maybe in all cases, we'll spare ourselves some pain or some suffering or some loss because we haven't returned back to our folly. God bless you, and may the Lord continue to be with you. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Friday, and we just pray that we could see you soon, and just wish you the best. God bless you.